Hey, 365 days of open heart living, day 23, delight and surprise. So I was noticing these beautiful flowers growing in my garden, and I was surprised that there's some pink in them. I've never had hydrangeas that grew multicolored, that grew white and pink. I planted this bush 2 summers ago, and last summer it didn't produce any blooms. It just was, establishing itself. So some things take time, obviously. And so it took a whole nother year for it to produce blooms. So this year, when it started to show a little bit of pink hue in it, I was surprised by that because I wasn't expecting it. I thought it was just going to be a nice creamy colored hydrangea. And yeah, it delights my soul. It is super beautiful. So the gorgeous flowers that we are enjoying here today in this meditation are the inspiration to talk about the delight and surprise. When we have things that are a surprise to us in our life, in our day, they sometimes can give us that heart opening of delight. We can have joy in them. Surprise can be something that's enjoyable because we aren't expecting it. It's something out of the ordinary. Sometimes somebody might give a gesture to you, like bringing you pretty flowers, or doing something kind for you, or leaving you a little note. And that's a surprise that delights your heart. And for me, I don't have somebody to bring me flowers or write me little notes. My kids, you know, that's just not anything I expect from them. So I am really enjoying this surprise and delight of the beauty in nature. And I hope that you take the time to notice when things surprise you, what delight that brings to your heart. So the next time that something happens that is a surprise to you, a good surprise, just feel it in your heart and feel how that delight moves through you. I also feel inspired to use some cards in today's session. And what I want to talk about is that God communicates with us in all different ways. He expresses himself to us in messages that show up throughout our life, in special moments, in simple moments, in delight that lands on our heart, from beautiful surprises sometimes too. Sometimes he moves through other people to delight our heart. Sometimes he moves through just us to open delight into our heart. So I have some cards here today, and how cards are used is that we ask a question and then we are surprised by what the reply is. And they operate on the law of attraction, in that whatever the message is that we are supposed to receive is what we receive, because we are based on our personal vibration and based on the truth of God. That is what is communicated to us, is the truth of what we need to know, or the truth of something that God wants to impart on our heart and our mind and our way of living sometimes. And I like to use cards sometimes just to kind of check in with myself, like when there's something that is, I want to have an answer for it, like I'm an impatient human being, then I use cards to just kind of get a reply back from the greater spirit, from God, really, That's who I ask my questions to when I use them, is God, to get a reply back saying, what's up? What's going on with this? So I'm going to use some cards today, and I have a question written down that I'm going to ask for us, and then we will go into our meditation after that. I pray that God will communicate through the selection of a card from this deck I'm holding in my hands that will delight you in surprise to know about yourself and your beauty that you possess. So asking God to communicate with you, with us, in a card, giving us a glimpse of the beauty and the nature of who we are that He wants to communicate. So that is a question, and now I just shuffle and trust. See what the answer is, what the reply is. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so I got two. We got two. The first one, we'll just go one at a time. The first one is build your wings. Look at that. Oh, it's a flower and two butterflies on it. Build your wings. So then what I do personally is I just feel into the card and kind of look at the image, feel into the energy, like what do I feel like it's communicating to be shared? Yeah. So in regards to God wanting us to know that a beauty that we can have a sense of being surprised and delighted in is that we build our own wings. Wow. We build our own wings. That's crazy. It's beautiful. So what that means is that God gives us so much in our life to create with, but who do you think makes us take flight? Who do you think, what does it take from us to take flight? It takes participation in our life. It takes our effort. God most certainly is above and above anything that could ever happen to us in our life. Anything that we could create, if God has a different plan for us, it's not happening. Like, we are on God's plan. But with free will, God gives space for us to create for ourselves too, very much so. So God has given us everything we need within ourselves to build our own wings. But it's up to us to use those attributes that lift us up and construct our self, our internal self, so that our wings develop and grow and are able to take flight, so that we are able to take flight from which God has given to us to create for ourselves our way of building our own wings and taking flight. That's freaking cool. I'm a little surprised by that. The second card, I don't know, straight up, I don't really know what this means. Moonlight. The other one's super clear. Build your wings. I like that. Moonlight? I don't know. Moonlight. What does this card say to me? Oh. Okay. So what this card says to me, oh yeah, okay. So it kind of, it's relating into the other card of build your wings. Like when we think of a butterfly and the metamorphosis that happens with a butterfly, they cocoon, they rest. They are super crazy busy of building their wings while their body is at rest. while they aren't interacting with the world, while all of their energies are drawn inside into this cocoon, and they're just allowing time and space and whatever natural efforts it takes of the butterfly to build their own wings. And the moonlight is talking about nighttime. And nighttime is a time of slumber, a time of rest. So it's just letting us know that building our wings is not something that happens instantaneously, and it's not something that always takes a great amount of forceful effort. Sometimes the effort to build our wings is to rest in the moonlight, to rest and to draw our energies within ourselves into the cocoon of who we are. And in that, we are better able to connect with ourselves and experience ourselves in our own transformation, so that when the time comes, when our wings are fully grown, that we are able to come out of the cocoon, come out of the slumber of moonlight, and take flight into a new day. That is so beautiful. Know that you are beautiful, that that is your beauty, that you have beauty in creating your own wings to take flight. And that a part of that beauty is sometimes the rest, maybe the surprise in that beauty is that sometimes it takes resting in the moonlight, resting in the night, slumbering our bodies and drawing inward, so that we have the energies within ourselves moving and doing what they know how to do, the heart specifically, so that our wings grow and develop and we grow into that beautiful butterfly that can take flight. Very cool. With that, I invite you to close your eyes. And today we're just going to sit in that energy and those thoughts communicated. And we're just going to feel our breath and let it all sink in. Stay in the energy that you feel and just rest your attention on physically feeling your breath as you also feel the energy that you are sitting in and the message of today. And taking this time to feel your breath, You are getting to rest in the relaxation that meditation brings to your mind, body, and soul. So keep feeling the breath, allowing rest. Just like the butterfly in its cocoon, meditation is a cocoon for you, where you bring your energies internally and you connect with yourself in a natural way that actually inspires transformation. Transformation by just being at rest. Transformation in what the effect of meditation has on your mind, body, emotions, and spirit, just by it being meditation. And just by allowing yourself to rest in it, just by the internal openings that happen in ourselves when we sit in meditation. It is a transformational practice, as it is a practice that we put time and energy into to rest, to relax, that then has a positive effect and can shift how we are in the mind, body, spirit, and emotions. It is a transformational practice. And so with the rest of meditation, with the drawing inward of meditation and feeling ourselves, feeling our breath, we are transformed in a natural way, just like the butterfly. And then when we open our eyes, as I invite you to open your eyes now, there's a little bit of us that has put in some restful action, restful energy into developing our wings, creating our wings. God has given us our body and our breath, and those are huge gifts that we take for granted. And then the practice of feeling the breath and doing that as a meditation, those natural gifts that we are given are then allowing us, are allowed to be used as a natural mode of inner transformation, of metamorphosis, because doing a consistent meditation practice really does change us from the inside out, like the butterfly. So I wasn't expecting that to come together so beautifully, and that the end product of this whole kind of delight and surprise meditation has brought us to knowing that meditation is a practice that we draw inward, and we rest in our beingness, so that the energy of God within us, that God has given us, has a chance to be cultivated, be developed, be stimulated, so that we build our own wings in a gentle way that is very natural, so that our hearts are lifted, take flight in being our best self, the truest expression of who we are, and being the us that is truly beautiful. You are beautiful. Believe and know that today, as you journey forward and building your wings and living your heart.